Good morning, it's Cheryl Townsley in the kitchen. But we're not cooking today. We're going to help you with those terrible things called cravings. Do you know how many people that I work with throughout the week and they're beating themselves up for all of their cravings? And yet, if you know why you're craving those foods and what your body really wants, you can deal with those without the guilt, the shame, and beating yourself up. So let's look at some of the most common cravings and what your body's really trying to say to you. Because the cravings are just the counterfeit when your energy is low and you're deficient in something. It's just your body talking to you. So what about the crunch of chips or chips and salsa? Yes, Cheryl Townsley, when I crave potato chips, what I know is that my adrenals are tired and that what I really want is salt. And here's 3 great ways to get it. One is Himalayan pink salt. You can cook with it, put it in your water. And trace minerals. You can find it in any health food store. I've been using that for about 20 years. And now my favorite is their Power Pack, which I put in my water as part of my energy drink. So instead of, and you know when you eat one, you want the whole bag, and usually you buy bigger bags. Well, set that aside and look at your alternatives. Well, what about French fries and ice cream? What could they possibly have in common? Fat, 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 fat. And you just want the ooh and goo of the ice cream. Oh, by the way, on the Cheryl Townsley page on Facebook, the public page that anybody can go to, there's a great recipe for olive oil ice cream, and it's amazing because it satisfies and it doesn't cause you to want a dozen of these or a pint or a quart. And what about French fries? Can you just even smell the grease? Can you smell that? And some of you have taste buds going, oh yes, I want. Well, when you are craving this, what your body really wants is good fats. The fats that satiate and you feel good. Good olive oil, coconut, avocado oil, and grass-fed butter, avocados. Now, if you start doing these good fats and you feel just a little bit nauseous, you may not be digesting them. So if you add an enzyme, such as this is one that we use, it's high in lipase. And lipase is what allows you to digest your fats. So part of it, when you're craving this stuff or this stuff, there's alternatives. Giving your body good fats. Have to say there's a pretty good cookbook out there, Cooking for Life. Just take a look at it, and you can go to CherylTownsley.com/cookbook so that you can learn how to cook with all these fats. It's great to know that you should eat them, but what do? You can do chocolate mousse. You can do, coming later in the week, I'm going to show you how to make a trifle that you could even take camping. Don't want to miss that. Well, what if you're just craving breads and pastas? You know, all that gluten stuff. You know what's interesting about pasta and bread? It's pretty much made from flour and water. And if you're as ancient as me, you know that flour and water makes paste. And you know what that does? It just pastes up the colon. The #1 reason for inflammation in the gut that impacts your brain and depression and brain fog, sitting right here. So, what are the options? Dum da da da. Well, one is if you're going to eat this stuff, digest it. This is a great product called Gluten, and it helps to break down what's in that white flour product. And you can get that by going to or giving our office a call, 719-488-5688. 719-488-5688, or go to any healthcare practitioner that uses the Loomis enzyme formulations. Great products. Now, I'm not saying that you should be eating this. That's not the problem. The key is this is creating inflammation, and it could be feeding Candida, which we'll talk about in a minute. But when you have inflammation, puffiness, pain, low energy, you can't sleep, brain fog. My favorite, OGF by Dr. Keller. Cool thing is that they give you 50% off, so you can try a bottle for $20. See if it works for you. Now, if you're working on the digestion, working on inflammation, and you still crave the breads, Well, in the cookbook, I give you an almond flour bread that has no gluten. There's coconut pancakes, lots and lots of alternatives. But the most common reason, question.
What about enzymes with papaya?
Papaya are good for
That's
digestion.
from your friend Beth in Texas.
Papaya is good. I've just found that as a digestive specialist with Dr. Loomis, their enzymes are just hands down the best. You know, I've had people come in with severe stomach pain and nobody's been able to help them. Within 2 or 3 days, with the stomach formula, they're doing well. So that just happens to be the brand after 20 years that I like. Just like trace minerals from any health food store. It's one of the easiest, cheapest minerals. Papaya, if it works and you have no gas, no bloating, your bowels are good, and you don't fall asleep after eating, then you're digesting your food. Now let's look at the last most common reason that you might crave bread and you might crave, I don't even know what this stuff is, but I think they're called a snack cake. Or maybe you go for candy bars. You just go and you want something sweet, sweet sugar to calm all the frustrations of life. But you know what? That feeds critters. What critters? Fungus. And then that fungus impacts your brain and your hormones and your skin and your bowels and your thinking, and the list goes on and on. So what are the options? Oh, wait a minute. How would you know if this is a problem? Well, besides the cravings, just do a Candida test. If you go to CherylTownsley.com, our main website, under Tools, go down to Questionnaires and go to Candida. If you're a woman and you score over 150, I have people do 200 to 300. It's not a test, you want a big number. Then that's when you really need to go after the Candida. For men, it's a score over 80. So what can you do? We're back to essential fatty acids. Your fish oil, your flax oils. You can get the swirl in any health food store, and the best part, it tastes amazing. Now, another one that I like is the olive leaf complex from Barlean's. It's both it's the entire plant, it's not just the leaf. So it's an antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, and antiparasitic. So when we get any symptoms, a tablespoon of the liquid or 4 sprays of the spray every hour. And it's amazing how quickly that can take care of symptoms. Because usually when you're craving sugar and there's a lot of skin issues, the fungus are eating their way through your body. And then you might try a Candida cleanse. And I like the SMI number 17 by Enzyme Solutions because it has cellulase to go in like Pac-Man and eat all of that fungus instead of the fungus driving you crazy. And then learn that you have some alternatives. You don't have to be stuck eating those messy candy bars. This is one of my new favorites. It's made from coconut. It's got coconut nectar, if you can do that, a little bit of chocolate, and I only eat half. It's so satisfying. You know, there's lots of recipes.
Why is it satisfying?
It's satisfying. Why? Because it has good fats. And until you start getting good fats into your body and digesting it, then you're going to have trouble with, the crunchies. You're going to have trouble with fries and ice cream. You're probably going to have trouble with breads and all kinds of sweets because your body's looking for energy.
From where?
And it's looking for energy from the fats and making sure you're hydrated. Good fats are so satiating that when you feel satisfied, here's a secret. You don't have cravings. So you have a couple of choices. You can give in to the cravings all the time and feel miserable. Or you can beat yourself up and try to use willpower to just make yourself not want it. Neither one of those work. So the alternative, the easy way, is to learn what your body wants, give the body what it wants, and discover that you can feel amazing no matter what's going on, no matter where you are, no matter what your age. I'm Cheryl Townsley, helping you to let life be easy and enjoyable. And if you want some recipes for those good fats, CherylTownsley.com/cookbook.